Hello everyone, I'm Sophia from Ukraine, and today I will show and tell you about the city that I was born in and that I love very much. This is the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. The city's name is said to derive from the name of Kyiv, one of its four legendary founders, brothers Khreshchatyk and their sister Libit. The history of Kyiv started more than 1,500 years ago, when around 950 cathedrals, monuments and churches were built. The top attractions of the city, with their primordial architecture and fascinating history, are worthwhile seeing when visiting Kyiv. Kyiv is situated on the picturesque banks of the Dnipro River. It is one of the most beautiful cities of Europe. Kyiv has a population more than 3 million and occupies an area of more than 840 square kilometers. The Golden Gate of Kyiv is one of the most important historical and architectural monuments remaining from the Kievan Rus period. It was the main gate in the 11th century fortifications of Kyiv during the reign of Yaroslav the Wise. Modeled after the Golden Gate of Constantinople, the structure that stands today was restored and rebuilt in the 20th century. Golden Gate in Kyiv is one of the few buildings of Kievan Rus which have come down to our day. It is included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Pechersk Lavra Monastery is one of the 7 wonders of Ukraine. It is the first and the most ancient monastery on the territory of the contemporary Ukraine, and it is under the protection of UNESCO. It's the holiest place of pilgrimage in Ukraine. This place has a long history, which began in the 11th century. Pechersk Lavra is one of the earliest and most significant Orthodox monasteries of Kievan Rus. 2 Orthodox monks of the caves Saint Anthony and Saint Theodosius founded this monastery complex. The territory of the Pechersk Lavra is about 30 hectares, and it is surrounded by secrets and legends. Saint Sophia's Cathedral is one of 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Ukraine. This temple is a great sample of Byzantine architecture. Saint Sophia's Cathedral is one of the most famous architectural historical complexes. Its construction began in 1037 and lasted for just 3 years. Here, the princes of Kyiv were crowned during Kyiv grandeur. It's one of the oldest and most jaw-dropping Kyiv's impressive churches. Beautiful murals, ancient mosaics, and frescoes adorn the interior. It is the architectural fairy tale. This is St. Michael's Golden Domed Monastery, originally built in the Middle Ages by the Kievan Rus ruler Sviatopolk, grandson of Yaroslav the Wise. It is named in honor of Saint Michael, the protector of Kyiv. Its nickname, the Golden Domed Cathedral, comes from the fact that it was the first and only church with such extravagant domes in ancient Rus. For 900 years, it has survived several wars and even complete destruction, but it still remains one of the most significant Orthodox cathedrals in Ukraine. This is St. Andrew's Church. St. Andrew's Church in Kyiv is one of the most striking Baroque buildings. Its architecture and location are genuinely unique. It is built on an artificial hill overlooking one of Kyiv's oldest neighborhoods, with a cast iron staircase. It has been twice hit by lightning, but still the church is flourishing. Churches were often built high on a hill for all to see, and St. Andrew's is a prime example. The church has no bells, as, according to legend, their noise would cause flooding of the left part of the city. The church was built in honor of Saint Andrew. He came to the Dnipro River's slopes in the 1st century AD and erected a cross on the current location of the church. He prophesied that this sparsely inhabited area would become a great city. As he predicted, the site arose to become the city of Kyiv. Andreevsky Descent is one of the best-known historic streets and a major tourist attraction in Kyiv. The hill is the site of the castle of Richard the Lionheart. This is what attracts lots of tourists. Kyiv Montmartre will always surprise you with its charm. Come here to bargain for fun and enjoy delicious coffee. This is St. Vladimir's Cathedral. It's in the center of Kyiv, and it's probably one of the most significant churches of this city. It was built in honor of Prince Vladimir of Kyiv, who introduced Christianity in Kyiv and Rus in 988 AD. This cathedral is the mother cathedral of Ukrainian Orthodox Church, Kyiv Patriarchy. The cathedral is decorated in the classical old Byzantine style, and its interior is exquisite and one of a kind, complete with gilded murals, paintings, and hand-carved accents. This is Khreshchatyk, Kyiv's main street, 2 times champion among the central streets of European capitals, the widest, 75 meters, and the shortest, 1,300 meters. Independence Square, or Maidan Незалежності in Ukrainian, is the central square of the city. It is located on Khreshchatyk Street. Maidan Незалежності is the only square in Kyiv officially designated as Maidan in Ukrainian. All other Kyiv squares remain designated as a ploshcha since the Soviet epoch. The Motherland Monument is one of the highest monuments in the world. It's 102 meters. It is higher than the Statue of Liberty, which is 93 meters. The stainless steel statue commemorates the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany and is a focal point in Kyiv. It can be seen from almost any part of the city. The statue of woman holds a sword in one hand and a large shield in the other. This, according to the plan of its creators, was to embody the unswerving spirit of the people who could stand together and overcome adversity. Inside, visitors will find the Museum of the Great Patriotic War, opened in 1995 at the base of the statue. Within the complex, you will find everything related to the role that Ukraine played in the Second World War, commemorated in statues and relics like uniforms, letters, and larger pieces of history like airplanes and artillery. The National Opera and Ballet Theatre. It is one of the most popular cultural attractions in the city. It is a great place to view a performance. The building of the National Opera of Ukraine was built in the style of French Neo-Renaissance and is still one of the most famous opera and ballet theatres in Europe. Kyiv is known as the greenest city in Europe and around the world. It is said that one can walk from one end of Kyiv to the other in summertime without leaving the shade of its many trees. The most characteristic is the horse chestnut tree, which is one of the symbols of Kyiv. Welcome to Ukraine!